Yeah. Okay, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Animator for the win here. Here with the deck profile. This is my first deck profile, so you're gonna have to give me some advice if it sucks. But basically, this is a deck profile for a random cards deck challenge that my friend Blue Weasels and I did, because we like the card game and stuff. But we also like doing little challenges, like doing stuff with my insanely small collection of cards. I have not a lot of cards, and a lot of them are in really crappy condition. So you're gonna see a lot of cards like this C39 Utopia, which are in absolute crap condition. Here, let's just something fell off my desk. That's nice. Yeah, look at all these wrinkles. I'll see the glare because my room has horrible lighting, but whatever. Okay, so let's get on the way. We'll start off with our monsters. So, starting off right off the bat, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Wicked Acolyte Chilam Sabak. I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. He's got a really interesting name. But, yeah. This is the card. And basically, his effect, if you have 5 or more monsters in your hand, if you have 5 or more cards in your hand, you can normal summon this card without tributing. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card in defense position, and if you do, it is treated as a tuner. So it's actually really good for if you're trying to go for synchro. I actually don't have synchros in the extra deck, because I, quite frankly, don't have any synchros. Because the levels of this card, I would need a level 12 synchro, and I don't own any. But basically he's in there for the normal summon, high attack, just to kind of help, take out some of those guys. So our next monster, playing 2 copies of Lindworm, and this is because when your opponent attacks a monster. Now I'm letting you know I do have better decks than this, but I'm just screwing around. Basically Lindworm, its effect basically is that if your opponent attack any battle done with during damage calculation with this card, the attack and defense of all of the monsters are flipped. Or, their attack becomes their defense, I should say. They're not flipped, because if you attack a defense, the monster is still taking their defense. But basically, so his 0 attack becomes 1800. And let's say you're going against some, beater, some level 4 beater. It'll switch his attack and defense around, because usually a level 4 beater, or, just any low-level beater is going to have a low defense, so they get flipped. And we're also going to be playing 3 copies of Reborn Tengu, this card right here. And basically, so his effect is whenever he leaves the field, you could special summon a Reborn Tengu from the deck. I have him in there. He's just a card. He's good for getting cards out on the field. He's a good consistent, so if you if your opponent clears a field, let's say you attack. Let's say it's one of those guys that loves to play themselves a Mirror Force. So you can basically just kind of, say no to that and just bring him back out on the field and then continue your attack. So that's pretty useful, I think. This is a really horrible deck profile, by the way. Okay, so next up we got 3 Phantom Sky Blaster, and I'm gonna take a look at it. Basically, what this card does is, so when it's summoned, you special summon Sky Blaster tokens equal to the amount of monsters equal to the amount of monsters you can control. Or if you've got 3, you can only summon 2 because you only have room for 2 because of the card space and stuff. Does that look any better? I mean, it gets rid of the glare, but let's just get rid of that. Ooh, I like that. Can I get it to go like that? Sorry, I'm just working with. I'm trying to get used to lighting and stuff. That's not gonna work. But yeah, this actually is a little bit. No, it's horrible. Whatever. I can just tell you guys the effect. So, and basically, what he does, he burns your opponent. Sorry about that. Yeah, so he'll burn the opponent. So equal the amount of Sky Blaster monsters that you have. So that's including your tokens. You inflict 300 damage for each. So with just one card being played, which is usually what I do, you end up burning him 900 damage every turn, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's not as good as Lava Golem, of course. And then after that... Oh god, these got flipped. Sorry. There we go. 3 copies of Bubble Man. This is really good in a pinch because it's got that draw power. You know, you draw 2 cards. So it kind of saves some space on that, and it's not bad if you're trying to play out, you know, Utopia. Same with Reborn Tengu. Works really well for bringing out number 39 Utopia. And then next up, triple copies of Jack Wyvern. This guy right here. He actually came out, I think, in a newer set. Basically, his effect is that you can banish him along with one other dark monster and special summon a dark monster from your graveyard. So let's say like you got yourself like, so you've got like this guy, and let's say like let's just say you've got one of these guys is the Sky Blaster token, and let's say this guy's in your graveyard, okay? The Wicked Acolyte or whatever. However you want to pronounce his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Basically, you use that and you could special summon him back, which is really helpful, I think. Like if you're getting your entire field swept and you're looking for more plays. Then after that, we're going to be playing Horus Black Flame Dragon level 6 and level 4. This is just kind of in here because, you know, it's a level up monster. I never actually played it when I was actually going against him because just like it was just in there as like a beater card, I guess. But yeah, it's just kind of there. And then for like this card, I think is like legendary overpowered, just personally, specifically for this kind of deck. Basically what its effect is okay, so you special summon this, you can special summon that card by paying 3,000 life points. So it's got a pretty nasty pay for a 2,700 attack monster, 3,000 attack. I mean, you could go for a Winged Dragon Ra if you're into that kind of thing and get 3,000 attack right out of that. But he's really nice because he increases your attack by increases your life points by 5,000 when he gets destroyed. So I just have that in there not only as like a quick, I need him on the field, but also because he gives me that life point boost, if you know what I mean, for getting those life points back if you're in a pinch. And then we've got one Beast King Barbaros, and he's in there just because I really messed up Trey with this card. I attributed the tokens, those what are they? They're weird. They got weird names, like Star Blaster tokens, I think is what they're called. And then I got the Star Blaster tokens and the Star Blaster. Played out Beast King Barbaros, and basically he's 3,000 attack, and you can use him, basically just sweep your opponent's field when you tribute 3 monsters. You can also just normal summon from your hand, so if you're drawing like massive level monster, you can't normal summon, you can actually normal summon him, but his attack becomes 1,900, so if you need to play him, he's really useful, but you can also play him for that 3 tribute for a to basically Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster at the same time on your opponent's side of the field, which is, I think, just amazing. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Move on to the spell and trap cards. 2 Fiendish Chain. This is just kind of in there to if your opponent's like playing like let's say they got like a really nasty effect out on the field. Stop them. Just come out, just activate the card, just say no. Like, they just can't use it anymore. So, yeah, it's really nice. And, got this cool ultra rare variant from that Kaiba, the legendary collection. It's really nice. Next up, One Secret Blast is just kind of in there as like a burn, because this deck does do a lot of burning, which is really nice. I don't have Lava Golem in there just because I don't like giving my opponent really powerful monsters that I'm not going to be able to stop. But if I tried to do a Fiendish Chain, I thought about this, play a Fiendish Chain, but it also negates its effect, so it wouldn't have worked for that strategy, which is too bad. Next, we have a copy of Trap Hole. Now, Trap Hole, it's just kind of in there, you just stop and normal summon. That's really all it's in there for. Now you have an Ojama Duo. Now, there aren't actually any Ojamas in this deck, but it's another card for burning. So if your opponent is playing, like, if you want to just fill up your opponent's card deck, I only have 1 copy, that's why I only have 1 copy in here. This is like maybe I'll update it, maybe I won't. I mean, I've got some really dumb cards in here. But, yeah. That's pretty much it. Then we've got one copy of Cracking. And basically what this card does is whenever a monster is destroyed by a card effect, the controller of the monster that got destroyed takes 800 damage. Which I like in terms of burning because like there's like Mirror Force in this deck and Ring of Destruction, so it just destroys. Next up, we have 2 Spell Shattering Arrows. Again, this is for the damaging portion. If your opponent, let's say, is doing stuff like pendulums, just destroy their pendulum cards with these Spell Shattering Arrows. I'm thinking that eventually maybe I'll like add it in as like a side deck, but until then, honestly, you really don't need those for like I'd just put them in the main deck, because I don't have any cards to put in as a side deck, because I'm poor. I'm just kidding. Next up, we got 2 Fire Formation Tenki. Now this is actually the only reason it's in there is to get those Tengu, Reborn Tengu onto the field. Now, Reborn Tengu isn't actually that important of a card in the deck, but it is kind of fun to, like, if you want to just make it so your opponent, like, it kind of stalls. Let's just put it that way. It likes to stall. So if you didn't draw Reborn Tengu and let's say your opponent just has a nice looking field out and they're about to try to OTK you, but they don't have any cards that can sweep your field, even if they can't sweep your field, basically you can just play Fire Formation Tenki, add that Reborn Tengu to your hand, and then go on with the play. Next up, 2 Ring of Destruction. I got this card just because, you know, it burns your opponent a little bit more. And it does help. I've used it on, like, a last turn play. Just practice duels. It works as, like, a really good last turn play. And then following that up, same sort of thing, we have a Loop of Destruction, which is basically a Ring of Destruction. It says it in its name. We got 1 Crush Card Virus. I don't know if you can see where this is going. It works with the extra deck. I'll be showing you. So basically all those cards combo up with this next card, which is the Fang of Credius. I only have 1 copy of these, or 1 copy of it, because, well, I'm planning on buying more, but, you know, like, I'm working on a cool Cyberse deck. I am going to be doing a deck profile on that, so that'll be cool. Hopefully I'll have some cooler lighting. But yeah, Fang of Credius, it's a great card. Next up on our line, we have, of course, gotta have that Raigeki. Love this card, just sweeps your field. And, of course, you know, if you don't want to, like, waste your time with other, because Trey was doing a very heavy trap card base, you know, just magic cylindering me every time I tried to attack, which is really annoying, but, that's nice to, like, not have to worry about, like, that's what mainly Beast King Barbaros is for, is so that I don't have to worry about those. I don't have a Harpy's Feather Duster, and it is banned, so I'm not even going to bother with adding it, and they're kind of expensive. Next up, we have Torrential Tribute. This card kind of in there, like, let's say if you go, like, for going first, and let's say you don't draw any good monsters, you can play it into, like, or let's say your opponent goes first, you draw it, like, you say you want to go second because, well, you've got a crappy hand, which happens a lot in this deck. I'm going to be honest with you. But, basically, let's say you choose to go second, you end up drawing out a Torrential Tribute. I only have 1 copy because I don't want to constantly be using it. But it is useful if you want to, let's say, like, if you got your opponent gets this nasty field and then he decides to normal summon a monster, just kills them all. That was loud. Holy crap. Next up, Storming Mirror Force. Really annoying card, I personally think, because it just returns all the attack position monsters to the hand. Really annoying. Like, if you, let's say your opponent just, like, special summoned all these cards using, like played out all their spell cards, and now they don't have a way to, like, if they were gone, they wouldn't have another way to bring them up. So you just return all the monsters to the hand, and now they're screwed. Now they have to figure out how to tribute summon, which they're not going to be able to do because they played all the level 4s. Next up, we have 1 Mirror Force. This is sort of just because, like, you know, it's Mirror Force. That's really it. You know, it's really annoying when your opponent, like, you attack and you're like, I got this in the bag, and the guy flips over a Mirror Force, and you're just like, I hate you. But it happens. And then, finally, Ghosts from the Past. I never got a chance to play it, but you banish 2 monsters from your graveyard and then target 1 attack, precision mounted on the field, and make its attack 0. And then that's pretty much it for the spell and trap cards. You basically have that one in there just because, you know, your opponent attacks, you activate that card, turn it to attack to 0, destroys the monster, they take full damage for it. Next up, for the extra deck, I have 1 Destruction Dragon, 1 Doom Virus Dragon. Now, these are the cards that combo up with the Fang of Credius and the Crush Card Virus. And you can actually use Loop of Destruction, that's why I'm using it, is because it's also helpful, and I don't have a 3rd copy of Ring of Destruction. And then finally, you just got that C39 Utopia. Or just, no, regular 39 Utopia, sorry. C39 Utopia is really powerful, but I don't have it. And, yeah. That's pretty much it for this deck. If you guys want to see how, like, get a view of, like, how the deck works and stuff. If you want to see a side deck, I don't actually have a side deck for it, but if you guys want to see a side deck, make sure to smash that like button. I know this deck sucked, so, whatever. But, yeah. It actually works better than it looks. And, yeah. See you guys later. Thanks for watching my deck profile. See ya.